It's the ink, baby.
Best believe, BWA, we done
So
red one
fucking
eyes.
awesome.
BWA, 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 BWA. You fucking with a real winner, got my check go way bigger.
And I like to say good morning. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment. Well, I wanted to do this video on the difference between Prime's lease and the lease purchase. Okay. The lease is like a typical lease, but they do have what you would call a short-term lease, which would be a truck that was previously leased. And when you're looking at the trucks, you'll be able to see the lease end date on the list. The one good, well, excuse me, there's a lot of good things, but one of the good things that comes with that is that the tire fund that was previously there will move over to you. Then they will split the accounts where the money that you're putting in the tire fund and the money that was already there are separate. So coming into the lease, if you would have a blowout, something happened with your tires rather, you could use that money as far as, you know, repair work to be done on your tires. The first lease that I did was only like 8 months. At the end of the lease, I still received $9,000 at the end of the completion of that lease. Okay, that's another good thing, that some of the carryover monies will go to you at the end of that lease. Typically, after 3 months of being in a lease, you will then be able to either go into a lease purchase where you're buying the truck, or at the end of that, if you decided to buy the truck that you're in, you could also purchase that if it's a lease. I've done the 500, 200 and some odd thousand, 300,000 mile truck when I was at Stevens. Typically, because of all of the different things that can go wrong with that DEF system, I had a lot of problems. Prime is giving you a chance after 3 months to either go into a lease where you pick out the truck that you want with the particulars on that truck as far as color, logos and things that you might want on that truck. What else? And just be able to do what you want with that truck, as far as putting a refrigerator in, so on and so forth. On that particular situation, you don't have to have any money down. But after 3 months, you can go into where you're picking out the truck that you want, the color you want, so on and so forth on the particulars. Or after 3 months, you can go into the lease purchase where you would put down $1,000 in the beginning to get the truck ordered. Okay. Then there will be $13,000 down after that, plus your particulars, if you change the truck up some. So, looking at that situation, it sounds like a lot as far as the down payment, and you could probably, I know Stevens is a little bit less than that, but the truck has more gauges, more particulars than you could even get there. So now let's look at what we got here. You could put the $1,000 down, which would leave you $13,000 once the truck comes in anywhere to 45 to 90 days. Okay, so you could get that saved up, no problem. But then in 3 years, the truck would be yours. Now, what I have seen in particular is that you have guys that will put more on the payment so that their truck is paid for in 1.5 years, and you would still have 1.5 years left on your warranties, and then you wouldn't have a truck payment. Now, in that particular lease purchase situation, the tire fund is on you. The excessive mileage, as far as on average leases, would not be there. So you would have to make sure that you put away the money for your tire fund, or you could put it in your e-fund and use it that way. I just think that the opportunities here at Prime are endless in what you can do as far as moving money around and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna knock the mileage pay situation, but typically, since I've been here, if I did go in the hole, I was only in the hole for 1 week. When I was at Stevens, I could miss a week or be on the yard waiting to get the truck fixed, and I would be in the hole, but I wouldn't climb out of that hole from 2 to 3 weeks because I'm looking at mileage pay and not percentage pay. So those are some of the good things that percentage or line haul pay will give you a leg up to get out the hole, because you could get one load, and say you're in the hole $2,900. You can get one load that will pay you $2,900 in 2 to 3 days. So then that would eliminate that debt that you owe backwards for the going in the hole, rather. So I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of, it's just easier getting paid by the percentage to get out of that hole that you would come in if you're going on home time, taking vacation, whatever it may be. Also, after going on 14 years, I have seen an increase in me being able to have money, extra money, because I'm not going in the hole 2 to 3 weeks trying to fight out of that hole with running miles. And I'm not knocking whatever that person feels like they need to do, or if they like that particular situation, but I'm telling you that coming out of the hole in a percentage-based situation is a lot easier than trying to be 2,800 in the hole and then running 2,800 miles still doesn't get you out the hole, because you're making $1 something a mile to try to alleviate that debt. So it's been much easier here at Prime than it was at Stevens. I'm not going to say that you should just look at money, but if you're happy where you are and it's doing what you needed to do, then I guess, so be it. But I'm trying to get you to look at a different avenue, because for a long time, for 10 years at Stevens, I looked at it from loyalty and not worrying about that margin of coming out of the hole, because I didn't care, because I was just loyal to that place, because that's where I started. But don't close your mind to other opportunities, because that's what I did. You know, I did get a comment about a dude saying that a million miles, you still a rookie, but I have way more than a million miles. That's just a moniker to put out there. I felt like it was catchy, so that's what I used. By no means do I think that because I got a million miles, I'm better than anybody. My trainer told me, in concluding, my trainer told me that once you think you know it all, hang your keys up. So that moniker had nothing to do with me thinking that I have gotten all of the knowledge that I could get out of trucking. And I didn't really get why the dude left the comment, but I'm going on 14 years, and yes sir, I still think I'm a rookie, because that makes me safer, that's made me accident free. But I appreciate you stopping by the channel to let me know that 7 to 8 years is only a million miles, but I have over a million miles, sir. So that's it. I'll be back. I want to do some trip planning videos, and I just been tied up, guys, but I'll be back soon. Peace.
For a long time, been tryna. Ambition is a hustler tonight. I've been getting it on my own mind. I've been tryna hustle for a long time, struggling for a long time.